Barbara sit here, Manny can stand.
Oh, no.
No. That's what happens. That's what we do. Watch. You don't want to sit down? Well, you can take my seat when I stand up.
Just walk in. You're talking.
Can you make it up? Lynn, help her. Look at that cute little baby. We got a baby in here.
Okay, it's 6 o'clock. Welcome to our June Jazz Vespers service. Tonight we have our good friend Bobby Rodriguez. So we're going to get started, and my wife is going to come up and do the scripture, and we will get started.
Hi, everybody. Happy June. Happy June. Okay, 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 3 to 10, Paul's hardships. We put no stumbling block in anyone's path, so that our ministry will not be discredited. Rather, as servants of God, we commend ourselves in every way, in great endurance, in troubles, hardships, and distresses, in beatings, imprisonments, and riots, in hard work, sleepless nights, and hunger, in purity, understanding, patience, and kindness, in the Holy Spirit, and in sincere love, in truth speech, and in the power of God, with weapons of the righteousness in the right hand and in the left, through glory and dishonor, bad report and good report, genuine yet regarded as impostors, known yet regarded as unknown, dying and yet we live on, beaten and yet not killed, sorrowful yet always rejoicing, poor yet making many rich, having nothing and yet possessing everything. Amen. Amen. Barbara?
It's so nice to see all of you here, and very happy to have that little one there too. Hey, and maybe we'll have 2 little ones next year, yeah? At any rate, I know you're going to have a wonderful evening, and I hope that you will take time after all the music that's going to just fill your spirit and your soul to stop on your way out afterwards and look at all of the wonderful artwork out in the back. And the artist happens to be one of our very own, Ellen Rundle. I've known her for a long time, and she just makes all kinds of beautiful art, and she's here to tell you a little bit about herself. Ellen?
Thank you, Bobby. This is a very good camera. Someone very dear to me gave it to me about 10 years ago. But, he didn't know that I'd been working on a computer for 30 years, and my neck was trashed, and my shoulder was trashed, and, I just can't carry this around with me all the time. I actually weighed it today, and it's 3¼ pounds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're walking through Europe and you want to take pictures everywhere you go, it gets a little old. So this you actually already have with you, no matter where you go, and it only weighs 11 ounces. So if you like to take pictures, you might want to consider learning how to use your phone camera and putting a little time in to actually, study how to work it properly and get a little collection of apps on your phone to help you do some editing. So if you actually consider photography as an art form, it does take some study and practice, and It's not just taking the photograph, it's editing the photograph. So I was already familiar with a lot of design principles because for 30 years I worked as an art director and designer in ad agencies and design firms in the LA area. So I already knew plenty about composition and balance and color theory and that kind of thing. But those principles are very important, even when you're taking pictures and doing some editing. One of the most important goals for me is that my images tell a story. When I travel, I want to take photos that are somewhat timeless. It's nice to have photos of yourself and your friends and your family in front of a beautiful, famous building, but, that's really not that interesting to me. It's a little bit more interesting to maybe study that building and figure out what's a really great angle to take a picture from. Maybe an angle that no one else has really considered, and show some different version of it. I also use the rule of thirds whenever I can, when I'm doing my cropping. And if you don't know what the rule of thirds is, I would give you a little bit of homework to go home and study what that is, because it's really important for all sorts of art and design and photography as well. So some people who are using iPhone photography as an art form like to keep traditional and use very simple edits, maybe some cropping, a little tweaking of the saturation of the colors, and sharpening of their images. And that's fine. Other people like to add all manner of filters to their images, which can be sometimes a little over the top, and it's very easy to go there. I like to use filters, but I do have to be careful that I don't make something look so out of place and unlikely that if it's going to be an altered image, it has to look like a pleasing image and not sort of, I don't even know the word for it, kitsch. It has to look still like a nice art piece. So the iPhone does have its limitations. I'll be the first one to admit that this is quite true. If I wanted to create an image that was going to be the cover of a magazine or a catalog, that image would have to be 300 dots per inch at 8.5 by 11. And the iPhone does not have that kind of resolution. So Dusty Styles and Barbara have an absolutely gorgeous print in their living room. That's a landscape he shot in Africa. And I never forget this image, because the print is, it's probably 36 by 24 or larger. And the depth of field stretches for miles. And it's sharp as sharp can be. It's just an incredible image. And you can't do that with an iPhone. So I push the limits. I know the boundaries. And it's just the perfect tool for architecture and flowers, landscapes that are, I like to use more close-up landscapes, not real distant things. But, I implore you to go ahead and maybe take some classes online. There are plenty. I've gone to the iPhone photography school or academy, as they sometimes go by. The classes are not expensive, and it has opened up an entire world for me. And it's fun, and I encourage you to do the same. Thank you.
Bobby? Thank you. That was very informative. Never realized I had such power in my pocket. Thank you very much for being here, for supporting us, the artists in the community. Yes? Oh, this microphone right here? Oh. Shall I pick? Oh, that's right. Here? Oh, there. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it feels like it's been 10,000 years since I've been up here with you because we went through COVID, I went through a heart operation, and I'm married 30 years. So you figure this. It feels like 100 years since I've been here with you. And thanks to my relationship and friendship with Lanny Hartley, we've traveled together, we've eaten together, we've played together. Never loved together, though. No, not yet. And you know, today I've brought some very, very interesting, wonderful players to share with you. One of them is an ex-student of mine. I saw this young man grow up from a little babe, and now he's sort of a big babe. Where is he? Oh, don't be hiding up. Don't be sneaking up on me. This is Mike Alvidrez. Please say hello. Today is a very special performance. You've seen a lot of people up here, and they play the song So What, and they'll play Stella by Starlight, and they'll play, Have You Met Mrs. Jones, and different songs that are very meaningful and wonderful music. Well, I'm not doing any of that today. I'm doing nothing but compositions by Bobby Rodriguez. Thank you. I'm, how old am I, sweet? 71, 2? And I think it's about time. So I've taken a big step in my life, realizing that from ether-induced coma, damn near, to a new lease on life. I feel like I have earned the right to play the blues because I know what they are. I know about the blues, and I love it, and I love them, and we're going to give you a little bit of everything I've got, and all I can do is hope that you go away thinking, that was a great day. God bless you. I'm going to start off with a song and feature Brian O'Rourke on the piano. This song, please. I wrote this song for my wife. Didn't know what to call it. Oh, the beautiful one. Oh, the fantastic one. The brilliant one. The smart one. And I just said, why don't I just call it Yvonne? And if you like that song, you can purchase it right out there in the lobby. That's on my latest CD. And the latest CD, I took it to my students when I was teaching, and they all looked at me with a very, very quizzical, is that a word? A strange look, and they said, Dr. Bobby, we don't have CDs. And I said to myself, huh? And they go, no, we download everything. And I said, huh? So they taught me something on my way out the door. Don't get used to what it was, because things change all the time. And boy, ain't that the truth in your marriage, in your life, with your children and everything else. You never know. So let's move on to something that's a little more bouncy and happy. And I wrote this when I was on a cruise ship. And I was in the middle of, I don't know where I was actually. It was a lot of alcohol and waves were smashing up against the side of the ship. But that led me to 4 years of performing on the Love Boat. For 4 years, I traveled all over the world, and it was really fun. I didn't realize how much fun it could be, but I stayed sober long enough to remember most of it. And this is the song, and so we're going to play that song that you guys like so much. He says, I don't need the music because I know this song. What is it? Angela. Hey, so I haven't seen you in how long, and what have you been doing? How many are you over COVID and feeling strong and walking 5 miles a day and all of that? 3 miles a day? 2 miles a day? 24 steps. I went to go see my, who's the heart doctor? The cardiologist. And he said, so, Bobby, it looks like you're doing pretty good. Everything sounds pretty good. And are you exercising? No. Are you walking? No. He said, maybe you should start. So I walk more to the bathroom now, so I get a little more. Anyway, I'm in it with an audience that actually knows what I mean. Okay, that's good. Makes you feel like I'm sitting in my home studio 30 years ago, and my brother comes over. And my brother says to me, you need a song like the one Sammy Davis Jr. talks about and sings about himself. And I had never heard that suggestion. Hi. How are you? She can't see you. I see him. You see me? I made a special trip out to see you. I love you. I love you too. Thank you. Thank you. You're looking good. You're looking good. So my brother says, you need a song that identifies you. And I had never heard that idea before. So I said, yeah, okay, whatever. And he went away. And I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it. And in the key of F, let's play this. And then I figured it out. I was born in East LA, down on my corner of Bonnie Beach and Hubbard Streets, right next to Calvary Cemetery. Oh yeah, I know it well. I was born in East LA, down on my corner of Bonnie Beach and 4133 Hubbard Street. I still remember. I only tell you about my East LA, 'cause my East LA, it's like no other. Okay, check me out, check me out. I hope you've been doing your Spanish homework. Here we go. Now, if you would go to East LA, you might see some people walk a little different. Hear somebody say, oye, preciosa, con esas piernitas de oro, ¿dónde vas, baby? Only in East LA, and you better. I only tell you about my East LA, 'cause my East LA, it's like no other. Okay, check me out, got a little story for you now. I went down to Rosarita with my pretty senorita. We had a couple too much of that and a whole lot of that. Get me back to East LA. Whittier Boulevard, Johnny's Hot Dog Stand, East LA College. That's me. That's where I come from. I only tell you about my East LA, 'cause my East LA is where this Latino learned how to play. In East LA. from East LA is everything. That's why we all moved out, because it's just too doggone much. Crime, stabbings, jumpings. I remember when I was a little kid, I don't remember too much, but I remember that some guys took me over around the corner to an alley. And they said, "You want to join us?" And I said, "No." And I ran back home and told nobody, because I realized I was at that moment being watched, being looked at as fresh beef. And I didn't go for it, because all I wanted to do was play. I used to walk from Our Lady of Lourdes Elementary School almost a mile up and down the streets with my little trumpet case. And you know what they used to say? And this is what I tell all the kids. They say, "Leave him alone. He's a musician." And they do. They leave you alone because they know your brain is someplace else. It's not there, it's over there. When I got into high school, it became more serious. I went to Salesian High School, Catholic school. And I hated it. I hated school. What about you? Did you like school? High school? Did you like high school? See, my wife is sort of an oddball. She loved high school. She went to Long Beach. Which one? Long Beach? Polytech. I hated school. Don't tell your children that. I couldn't wait to get the call to go away, get out of East LA. So I got a call from Charles Mims. Maybe you know Charles. And he said, "Hey, Quincy Jones is starting a band and he wants to audition." And that's the way they used to do it. Used to grab a cold call and just go. Am I feeling like maybe she's gonna? Not yet, okay. Because she's holding that tummy pretty tight. So I said, "Charles, sure, I want to go audition." So Jerome Richardson was there. And he did the auditioning. And they gave me the solo of Killer Joe. Little did I know that I had been practicing that song half my life. So I played and I got that chair. I did 6 weeks with the Quincy Jones band, and school was in the rear view mirror. I almost graduated from Cal State Long Beach. John Prince was my teacher. He's the man that opened the door for jazz. Couldn't be called jazz. It had to be called commercial music. Because jazz was very offensive and scary to the power that be. I was this close to graduating with my bachelor's degree in music, and I got a call. 6 weeks, United States tour with the Quincy Jones Orchestra. So I went to the University of Quincy Jones. And after the second gig, I was on the bus and he was on the plane. Because he said, "I'm too old for this." I don't know how old he was then, maybe 50 or 40, I don't know what he was. But I got the education that I was looking for. And then 6 months after that job finished, I got a call to go with his pop group, which was at the time the Brothers Johnson. That was a major success for him and for me. But I was very lucky. I only did some drugs, a little bit, because I saw the effect it had on a lot of other people. And the drinking, well, not too much drinking, because I can't stand drinking, unless it's cold beer. But anyway, we had a lot of fun. We traveled all over the place on buses, planes, went to Japan a few times, went to Europe a few times, all over the United States. This is my story. And this is what my brother was trying to tell me. You need to have a story for yourself to talk about what you've done. So after I came back from this whirlwind 4-year unbelievable education of everything, I told my wife at the time, I got to get out of this because it's driving me crazy. And the party, you don't know this, but the party never stops. It's like, you too tired? Okay, let's go over here. Oh, well, let's go over here now. You too tired? We'll do all 3. It's amazing. The pop scene is the most dangerous scene of all. But you never know it. You think it's all fun and glory. I always think about, hey, where are these guys now after their 30s and 40s? Anyway, it's a heck of a good time. I mean, let's be honest. And if you save any money at all, you're lucky. Because usually you just give it away half the time. The party is the most dangerous thing. And you've got to keep practicing, and you've got to keep learning your instrument, and you've got to keep taking lessons. Do you think it's hard to keep up this instrument? Woo! After my operation, open heart surgery, I asked the doctor 2 things. 1, when can I drive again? And when can I play my horn again? This happened in 2016. I'm not looking for tears or sadness. I'm trying to tell you the commitment and dedication it takes for all of these guys to do what we do. That's why I brought you no drums today. I didn't want the sound of that to get in the way. I wanted you to hear the pure emotion that Brian brings to that piano. And Mike, little Mike, now he's big Mike. Goodness gracious. These are the greatest in the world. And to give them the respect due, they live for that. They live for giving it to you. And that's really why we're here today. Lord knows the money ain't all that good. But the fact of the matter, we love to give. And that's why we get tired and years go by. Because we're always giving. We give to you. And we hope you appreciate it. Thank you for making it quiet. She's so beautiful. And maybe she'll learn one day, it's time to be quiet. I said something at a concert when someone was talking, not a baby, an adult. I said, hey, I'm playing here. And they fired me. Because I was out of line. I was not correct. And I can appreciate that. But I've practiced too hard to have you laugh over what I do. And I want you to know that these guys practice their little behinds off to bring it to you and give you the best they've got. That's why I love Brian O'Rourke, Mike Elvidres, and the 50 other musicians that'll just go unsung today. But they're out there and they're working on their craft and they want to get better and better, and I want them to get better and better. And I'm now that old guy looking for the young guy to inspire me. And all of that started because my brother said, you need a song for yourself. I only Was born in East LA, down on Hubbard Street, Freddie Hubbard Street. I never thought of that until like 5 years ago. I said, what? I was born on Freddie Hubbard Street, Lee Morgan Avenue, Clifford Brown Boulevard, Miles Davis Terrace. I mean, these are the heroes in my life that I grew up with, loving Woody Shaw. Oh, come on, man, come on. I only tell you about my East LA, 'cause that's where this Latino learn how to play, in East LA. Thank you. Let's lay a little groove on you, see if you like it. Soft and gentle. If you like it, it's on one of those recordings right out there. And I'm doing something different on the recordings now. I'm not selling them. I'm giving them away. Because like I told you, my kids, my students said, we don't have CD players. And I said, what? No. Download, 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 download. Well, how about this? Take what you want, give what you want. Not bad. Pretty good, huh? Pretty good, huh? Pretty good, huh? I hope so, because we're all looking for some way to accomplish the next step. Feed our families, play music, have fun, give to you, make your soul bright, and we hope you're enjoying this. Mike, can you give it to me? 1, 2, 3, doom. I wrote it for my daughter when she was 3 years old. She's now 41. She's beautiful, has 3 babies. 2 of them are really sweet. Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. That's right, that's right. Show us what the bass can do. Go ahead, Brian, go ahead. distinction because once a Texan, always a Texan. She's from Texas. El Paso. Okay. You know what El Paso means? El Paso. It means to pass through. My uncle, who was very old, he said they used to pay a penny to get across the border. A penny. And then whoop, you can go through and go back and whatever. Anyway, all my life I was confused by that terminology. Henrietta, Enriqueta, and then they would call her Queta. K-E-T-A. Queta. So, on one of my first records, I don't think it's this one. No, it's not this one. But it's out there on YouTube, of course, because everything is on YouTube. I wrote a song for my mom. And I'll never forget that, you know, in a studio, you're playing live. You're not overdubbing, you're not taking out your part and then putting in your part and then it's perfect and so in those days it was like everybody's playing together. So I remember playing this song in the studio and I was getting tired and I said, I had her face popped up right inside my brain and I said, I can't let her down. I have to play it right. I have to play it good. So I did. And so the recording is on YouTube and it's called Queta. Hope you like it. Here we go. Hey. Now the reason I'm reading the music is because I did write these songs. But some of them I wrote so long ago, I almost have forgotten them. Though I liked what I played on the recordings, but it's like I haven't played them in so long, it's like, wow, I better, make sure I can still do it. So, here we go. Give me that downbeat. 3, 4. to LA, we moved to Montebello, like all good Latinos did, to Pico Rivera, to Whittier, to Rolling Heights. No, we never got there. But I moved out to Yucaipa, so if you ever want to eat a taco or share a margarita, you come out and find me. Everybody knows me. Bobby Rodriguez, the trumpet player. Yvette, Lanny, God bless you both, baby. You're looking so old, I can't believe it. But no matter how old you are, I'm just 1 year older. God bless you, Lanny. God bless you.
Listeners alike. Jazz is more than just notes and rhythms. It's a gateway to the spiritual realm. When we immerse ourselves into the world of jazz, we embark on a journey that transcends the physical and touches the depths of our soul. The improvisational nature of jazz allows musicians to tap into their innermost emotions, becoming vessels through which the music flows. In these moments, they connect with something greater than themselves, creating a spiritual dialogue between the music, the musicians, and the universe itself. The roots of jazz in African American are from African rhythms. African American experience provides a fertile ground for spiritual essence to flourish. The influences of gospel and blues music permeate the very fabric of jazz, infusing it with a profound sense of spirituality. Gospel music, born in African American churches, embodies devotion, faith, and hope. It becomes a source of inspiration for jazz musicians, enabling them to express their spiritual longings through the language of music. The blues, with its raw and honest portrayal of human experience, serves as a catalyst for introspection and self-discovery. Jazz absorbs these influences, creating a powerful fusion that weaves together spirituality, storytelling, and emotional release. Furthermore, jazz has been a powerful force for social justice throughout history. It has served as a voice for the marginalized, fighting against racism and inequality. Jazz becomes a spiritual weapon, challenging the status quo and demanding equality and freedom. In its improvisational nature, jazz encourages individual expression and collective unity, breaking down barriers and promoting a more inclusive society. It ignites a collective consciousness, inspiring us to stand up for justice and work towards a better world. In its ability to transcend boundary, jazz offers us a pathway to the divine. It invites us to let go of preconceived notions and surrender to the present moment. Jazz becomes a vessel for transcendence, enabling us to connect with something greater than ourselves. It becomes a source of solace, inspiration, and unity, reminding us of our shared humanity and our interconnectedness of all beings. In conclusion, the intersecting of paths of jazz and spirituality create a space for profound transformation. Jazz serves as a vehicle for spiritual expression, social justice, and transcendence. It takes us on a journey that goes beyond the surface, touching the depths of our souls and connecting us with the universal energy. Let us embrace the beauty and power of jazz, allowing its spiritual essence to uplift our spirits, inspire our actions, and foster a world filled with harmony, understanding, and love. Thank you. Y'all, I did not write this speech. AI did. All I did was enter the prompt, please write a one-page speech on the intersecting of jazz with the spiritual. And I wrote this into ChatGPT. Within 2 seconds, it started to print the speech. And I got it to do all kinds of other speeches. Now, ChatGPT is a member of the Generative Pre-trained Transformer. I haven't got a clue what that is, but that's what they say it is. And you can do it yourself. And you're talking about no CDs? Huh? CD players? Mm-hmm. Bobby? Mm-hmm. This is what's going on now. Okay, it was developed by OpenAI. The initial release of ChatGPT was November 30th, 2022. The stable release, March 14th, 2023. It just came out. Now, I had no problems, okay? And this is just the beginning stages of this. So watch your grandchildren. Make sure they don't use it too much, because it can write essays, it can write plays, it can write all kinds of things. But somehow, what I can see right now is that it doesn't have the human. So by me adding my voice to it and my acting to it, I made it more. You know, it's just amazing. So look it up yourselves, guys. But it was a nice thing about jazz, isn't it? Touched my heart. And I thank you all very much. Okay. And thank you, Dr. Bobby Rodriguez. That was absolutely wonderful. And also go out and see Ellen's work out in the vestibule. And just thank you all for coming, okay? And I want to thank all the crew, everybody who puts this together. Yeah, Dusty, how you doing up there? How you doing? Russ. So I'd like to end with, may the Lord watch between you and me while we are absent one from another. Good night, y'all. Good night. Amen.